Hey, smell me? I'm in the kitchen, whipping. Feel me? Whipping in the kitchen.
Do you guys ever struggle to find motivation to start your beats? Yeah! Or you sit there aimlessly clicking in your piano roll until you eventually give up an hour later? Yeah! Because I know I do. Today, I'm going to show you something that I do to make sure that even when I'm having beat block, I can still get my beats going. I'm going to show you guys how to take a sample, how to make it your own, and how to make your own melodies. And how to add your own melodies to that sample to make it your very own. If you're not already, follow me on Instagram, hit that subscribe button, like, comment, it all helps a lot. Here we go. All right guys, I'm in H-Town today. Supposed to be getting ready for a hurricane, but I don't know if it's coming. So I'm gonna show you guys how to make emotional melodies today, and more importantly, how to start with a sample and then also add your own melodies to it. So I've got this sample here. I'm working at 171 BPM. Let's listen to it. All right, so you can see I started with a emotional sample already, but I'm gonna add my own melodies to it so I can kind of make it my own.
Yeah.
I know I want to start with a top melody on top of that, but I need to know what key this is in.
So let me give you a major key.
If you're like me and you didn't, play music growing up or play piano or anything like that, you didn't learn anything about notes or scales or music theory, what you can do to find out what key your sample is in.
The key is to be honest with yourself.
Double click it, right click on this audio right here, hit edit in audio editor. This is going to bring up this plugin called Edison. Everyone has this. Right click on the audio in there, go to regions, detect pitch regions. Boom.
Boom!
Now you can see every single note that's being played in that sample. This is going to help you a lot when you want to add your own melodies to it.
Your girl knows I've got the sauce. No ketchup.
So I see that this first note here played is C sharp. So let's go into our piano roll of our piano. I'm also going to make sure that I have this on C sharp minor because this might help. All right, I got this first part here. I want to copy this over so it continues, but I'm going to change it up a little bit just to have some variation. All right, so I got the second part here, very similar to the first. I just changed the octave of one part of it and then added some more notes at the end. All right, so you can see already some cool emotional vibes with this. What I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna randomize the velocity on these so they sound more realistic. So Control A to select all, then we go Alt R, and then in here we can play with this pan to randomize the pan of each note, and then the velocity here, mess with this a little bit. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take all of them as well, hold down Alt, and then scroll down. I'm going to turn the total velocity of everything down just so it's not hitting as hard. It sounds a little bit softer and more emotional. Let's see how that sounds. And then from here, after I listen to those, I can kind of pick out which notes that I either want to make louder or quieter. So I know this B right here sounded a little bit harsh to me, so I'm gonna pull that down a little bit. Pull it down a little bit more, it's too loud. There we go. All right, so I like the way this is sounding. I'm gonna throw a little bit of effects, a little bit of EQ on both of them before I move on. Throw a little reverb on the top melody. All right, I pulled up this Omnisphere sound called granular violin harmonics. It's got a lot of ambience in it. It'll kind of create that space and that ambience in the back. So I definitely want to put that in there. With sounds like this, you want to be very subtle. Have them in the back. Don't have too many notes playing because it'll create a little bit too much noise. I want to make sure it's in the right key. So if we go back to that Edison that we opened earlier on that main melody, go to the main melody, we see all the notes here. This is going to tell us everything we need to know in order to put that Omnisphere sound in here. So very first thing I want to do, play this and just kind of listen of where I want that swell to go. So right here, C sharp. All right, and the attack on this is kind of slow, so I want to bring this forward a little bit. Okay, let's go back to that Edison. See where we want this next one to go. All right, so it's going to be in the E. I'm going to throw a little bit of reverb on that last sound and EQ it a little bit just so it can fit better. So a good tip to make sure you have an ambient sound like this kind of fit in the back of your mix and not overpower the rest of the sounds is to over EQ a little bit on both ends. So I'm going to go to high pass here on a steep 4. Go all the way to 200 hertz to start. I'm going to do the same thing here, but it's going to be a low pass on a steep 4. So let's get into the drums now. I've got this clap. Let's get right into the clap. All right, next step, after you always put your clap and your snare in there, always hydrate. Get some water in your life. If you don't have water in your life, what is you doing? All right, I'm gonna get into this kick I got pulled up here. All right, I got a nice little bounce here with the drums. Now I'm gonna go to my 808 and I'm going to kind of follow them and maybe add some more notes in between. One thing to always check with your 808s is it's really a matter of your own taste, but I like to make sure that they don't drag out too long. So I already took this out knob here in my 808 and turned it down a little bit. All right, so I got my 808 pattern here. Make sure that you always have your 808s in key. So what I like to do sometimes is look at the melody and those notes, so you can do the same thing with Edison that we were doing for that top melody. But I also know here that if I look at these top notes too, sometimes we can make sure these match up. I'm going to add a little bit of distortion on that 808 just so we can hear it better on multiple speakers. All right, guys, so that's how you can make emotional melodies on your own, especially if you want to start with a sample. Let me know in the comments if there's anything else you guys want to see me do or learn from me. If you're not following my Instagram already, make sure you follow that as well. Link is down below. Also, hit that subscribe button, like, comment. It all helps a lot, and I'll see you guys in the next one.